What is good, everybody? Welcome to a Gold Standard podcast. This is our live show. I have no idea why the background wasn't up. It should have been, nonetheless. I'm Rob Stats Guerrera. He's Levin Black. Levin, we are 1 hour away from kickoff in the NFC Championship Game right now. How are you feeling?
Man, this has changed for me over time. I used to get like crazy nervous, amped up, be going crazy all day, can't settle down. As I've gotten older, I've been able to just kind of like I'm aware of the game. I'm constantly thinking about it, but I don't like allow my brain to fully get into it. So I don't get too nervous anymore. But it's almost like my brain is turned off towards it. Like I don't truly delve into it.
You're not nervous. You're not freaking out today. I'm doing this
I
show.
will
I don't
be
know
the
what to
moment the
do with
ball kicks
myself.
off. The moment the ball kicks
Oh.
off, yeah, but I like kind of keep myself in check because otherwise it ruins my entire day where I'm just like I can't do anything else. You know, it's almost like I'm a zombie just sitting there too nervous to do anything else.
I cannot function. I'm freaking out all day today. I don't know what I'm doing. Just want to say quickly a couple of things. Things are happening with me and SB Nation, and we're trying to work out what's going to happen with the feed. So luckily, we are going to post from both the Gold Standard Podcast Network feed and the Niners Nation podcast feed. So that's going to go to both places. So don't unsubscribe from the SB Nation Niners Nation podcast feed just yet. Just want to let everybody know we'll have more details coming up, but don't unsubscribe and you'll still get it from both places. So no matter where you're subscribed, you will get it. That may not always be the case in the future, but for now, you'll be good. Okay. So let's get into the breaking news, 11, because we've got some inactives and
Right.
little surprising. No Elijah Mitchell today for the 49ers. Is that a big deal? What do you think?
I think it could be. I think if Kyle Shanahan is willing to run Jordan Mason, I don't think it'll be that big of a deal because I think Jordan Mason's pretty good. The problem is I could see Kyle going away from the inside runs. And that's where the Eagles defense is particularly vulnerable. They've given up almost 5 yards of carry going up the gut, center runs. And that's what I think Eli Mitchell handles. You don't see McCaffrey going on those runs very often. That's when Eli Mitchell comes in. So if Kyle Shanahan just goes away from it, kind of takes it out of the playbook because he doesn't want to rely on Jordan Mason, then I do think it's a big deal.
Lots of people are like me, freaking out, nervous. Tom Legendary watching on Twitch wants to know, my Twitch page at Stats on Fire, by the way, please subscribe. No Mitchell today. How many touches does Coleman get? Like, first of all, the fact that Ty
0,
Davis Price
hopefully.
is also inactive today, like he can't see the field no matter what. That's pretty clear. To me, it's got to be CMC and Jordan Mason. You can run Jordan Mason up the middle, no?
Mm-hmm. That's what I think. I don't know why they seem to be a little hesitant to do that pretty much all season when Eli Mitchell was out. So there must be something. Maybe he's fumbling in practice and we just haven't seen it in the game yet. I don't know what it is. Why Kyle is so hesitant to do that. Maybe because Jordan Mason isn't much in the passing game at this point. So he knows that if Jordan Mason is in, the defense kind of gets to key on the run. I don't know what it is, but it does seem like he was hesitant to play Jordan Mason and run him most of the season.
I agree. He's very hesitant to play young players. John Lynch said he's getting better at that. I don't know. Really quick, we got people asking, are we doing a watch along? We are not doing a watch along. We will be live right after the game on this YouTube page, also my Twitch page, both Stats on Fire, Facebook as well. So we'll be live after the game. We are not doing a watch along. Nick Eller asked this question: how many rush attempts for Debo? That's actually who I think is going to pick up the slack. Maybe that's what they do, Levin. If they want to go up the middle, they go Debo in the backfield.
They could. I mean, Debo's always that X factor. You don't know how much he's going to get to carry the ball. That's been really kind of inconsistent. It seems like Kyle, when he likes the matchup, he's going to give him 5, 6, 7 carries. When he doesn't like the matchup, he might try it once, maybe twice, and then go away from it. I would guess that sometime early in the game, Debo will get a chance to try to catch the edge. And if he finds success and Kyle likes the way it looks, he's going to start calling that. We've entered the part of the season where if Kyle finds a weakness, he's going to hammer it until there's nothing left.
He is. Press until it hurts, baby. That's what I like to see. I hope we see some of the like outside sweep, jet sweep kind of plays with Ayuk and Debo, because I feel like we've kind of gone away from those, and those can be effective.
Yeah, I mean they're kind of hit or miss, right? They're either nothing and you lose yards, or they're big gainers. There's not too much in between on those plays. I do think it's going to depend on how much the defense keys on Debo. If it's like last week, Micah Parsons peeled off. If Debo left the backfield, Parsons was following him. He wasn't pass rushing. And that took away the screen to Debo and the runs to Debo. If that's what they're doing with, say, Hassan Reddick, who is fast enough to kind of do that, then I don't think you're going to see a whole lot of Debo.
Yeah. Tommy Dingo watching on YouTube. So just wanted to say I'm happy y'all started your own network. Love hearing your takes, even when they're bad, like eating Golden Crisp. Yeah, Levin woke up today and posted a picture of Golden Crisp from his Twitter account at Takes by Levin, and he said it was the only cereal you could eat today. Like, what is wrong with you? Come
You got a
on,
problem with
man.
a gold and red box that's got the name Golden in it?
I mean, the cereal, it's not that great of a cereal. I
It
just
is a
question
good
your
cereal.
breakfast
Thank you very
choice.
much.
Ah, come on. Okay, let me just do this really quick. This guy, Dean, every live stream that we've had, he keeps asking why I'm dodging his question, even though I already answered it on Twitter. I'm not dodging you, you weirdo. Why did I switch my prediction and go Eagles? I didn't switch my prediction. My prediction is Eagles 28-21. It has been, but it's going to be a close game. If you're asking me who I think is going to win, I'm picking the Eagles. Yes. Does that mean the 49ers can't win? Of course not. I'm rooting for the 49ers to win. But if you're making me make a prediction, that's my prediction. But of course, I'm still rooting for the 49ers. Man,
Okay.
does that make
Don't change the
sense?
subject. What cereal do you eat? We got
Cinnamon Toast
important
Crunch,
stuff here.
baby.
That is a good one. That is one that I always have. I always have
Yeah,
like,
that's right.
I have Golden Grams, I have Golden Crisp, and I have Cinnamon Toast Crunch. My wife likes Lucky Charms. So those four are pretty much always
Solid.
in my house.
That's good. I'm glad I haven't lost all faith in you. By the way, the other inactives, in addition to Elijah Mitchell, which we already mentioned, Jimmy G, Drake Jackson, which is kind of disappointing. Like that poor guy can't get into a playoff game. Ty Davis Price, Ambry Thomas, Ross Dwelly, and Nick Zakel.
I'm kind of surprised actually of Jackson, because we saw earlier this year his ability to chase down running quarterbacks. So I was kind of excited to maybe see him get a chance in this game, because he did show crazy agility. I forget which game that was. It was early in the season. Was that Justin Fields week 1, where he just like changed direction on a dime and was able to stay with him?
Oh yeah, who was that? Was that Fields or Russ or somebody? I forget who it was, but you're
Yeah, it was
right. That
some
was an
running
awesome
quarterback.
play. I forgot about that. A lot of support for Lucky Charms in the chat, by the way. Um, So those are the inactives. I think maybe they like to have bulk up the middle. I think they're worried about their defensive line up the middle, which is obviously where Drake Jackson doesn't play. But I would like him too because he knocks down a lot of passes. He's just
Mm-hmm.
long and rangy. Like I wish we got to see him.
Yeah, that's disappointing. I will say, if they can get Jalen Hurts on the run, I'm all for it. I saw a stat early. I don't remember the exact numbers, but basically inside of the pocket, Jalen Hurts has, well above 100 passer rating. Outside of the pocket, he was only like a 52.2 passer rating. He's actually not good at throwing on the run. So if you see him running and getting out of the pocket, then it's kind of like you want to see him pass.
I would be down for that. I'm down for just don't let him get comfortable and chuck it deep. I don't care if he's going to pick up yards scrambling. I don't think that's going to be the backbreaker for the 49ers. The backbreaker to me is going to be if he buys time and throws it deep because we know AJ Brown can tear up him some 49ers.
You guys might see me some off the cuff giggles over here, because for the first time I can see the comments as you're making them, not just the ones that Rob throws up there. And it's the one right beneath that one that made me giggle.
Okay.
Somebody's saying my
Hold on.
forehead is immaculate. I don't know what
Michael
that means.
Hobson. Rob, you have to pick the 49ers in the playoffs always. It doesn't matter what your preseason prediction was. Keep doing what you do. Well, that doesn't make any sense. Come on. I picked the Eagles. I knew the Eagles could potentially play the 49ers in the NFC Championship game when I made the pick. So I'm trying to be consistent. How about this, Alfonso? Levin's forehead is immaculate. I agree.
I don't know
Congratulations
what
on
that
that.
means. What's that mean? Does it mean my lighting is fixed because I went and broke into my wife's old photography stuff I forgot she had? So I have like an actual professional lighting now?
There we go.
Told
I
my
like
wife I
that.
was gonna spend money on, like, overhead lights that shine down on the wall behind me and all that, and she's like, "I have all that photography stuff that's been sitting downstairs." I was like, "Oh, that's right."
It's about time you made an effort for this show. Let's be
Oh,
honest.
yes, yes.
Biolateralist. I can't believe you stats pick against the Niners. Shame. I know. I get it. Look, you can all rub it in my face and take solace in the fact that my picks have generally been terrible.
Hey, I mean, you can always come back in the post-game show and rub it in his face when the Niners win. Have you picked
That
against the
would be good.
Niners this year? I would assume there's games that you
Yes.
picked against the
Of
Niners.
course. Of course I picked against the You're not I'm not going to
Did
pick
you
the
pick
49ers
against
to
them and
win.
they won? Have you picked against
Oh,
them
I'm
and then
sure
they
that's
won?
happened. Yeah, I'm sure that's happened this year. I certainly didn't pick them to win 12 straight games, which is where we are right now. Um, by the way, Trey Sermon is also inactive for this game. So any third round running back by the 49ers have ever picked is not playing in this game.
Yeah. That that is what the last 3 drafted running backs for the 49ers are all inactive?
Yeah, that's well, it is what it is. All right, Levin, you were doing videos this week on the YouTube page. That's Stats on Fire. Player the Niners have to worry about, player the Eagles have to worry about. Debo was your pick for the Niners. AJ Brown was your pick for the Eagles. Who has the bigger game today?
That was a tough one. Honestly, I think AJ Brown's going to have a big game regardless because we have seen the Niners allow wide receivers to have big games. I don't think they have a good matchup against AJ Brown. He is a freak. AJ Brown, when he was drafted, I remember, he was drafted by the Titans. My brother's a big Titans fan. I texted my brother when he was drafted saying, "Congrats, you just got the new T.O." Like AJ Brown is T.O. to me. He's very similar in terms of the way he runs, the routes that he's good at, and especially after the catch. He reminds me. I think AJ Brown's going to have a big game. The Niners can still win if he has a big game. I'm worried about if AJ Brown can be limited in what he does after the catch. I think the Niners are good. It's if he breaks one. That's where I think he's the difference maker.
Number one team in gaining yards after contact, San Francisco 49ers. Number one team in preventing yards after contact, San Francisco 49ers. That is a hell of a combination. I want to see them, and this is Michelle really pointed me in the right direction on this. They got to throw the ball to Debo deeper down the field. Stop giving it to him 1 to 2 yards within the line of scrimmage. Throw it down the field. And I know, yeah, okay, he has issues separating against man coverage, whatever. The Eagles are not going to play man coverage every play. Like, man, let Debo cook. I'm starting to let Debo cook train. Throw it to him at the damn sticks for a change.
I do think that he's utilized almost as a decoy because if he's running a shallow route, he's going to get extra attention. And you're going to have either a linebacker and a DB concentrating on him, or a safety is going to come up to help. And that allows Ayuk and Kittle to have the deeper routes where they get open. That's one reason why you don't see Ayuk getting all of the attention. You saw the 3rd and 15 last week where he was able to convert. And part of that is because defenses are concentrating on not letting Debo get the ball.
That is true. He's certainly garnered a lot more attention. Kyle even mentioned it when they were giving the ball to Ray when Debo was out. He was like, it's nice to run plays where the whole defense doesn't shift just because I put a wide receiver in motion. I think we're going to see playoff Debo today. I really do. I think he turns it on. Did you see what he wore walking into the game?
I did not see that. What do you wear?
Oh my God. It was like, I don't even know how to describe it. If somebody can describe it in the comments, please do. It was like he had like a luchador mask on. It was all green stuff. And I don't know if it was a fur coat or it was just a bizarre outfit, but like he's into it. He's turned up for this game. I think we're going to see a Debo that we haven't seen in the past few weeks.
It feels like Debo's trying to be like the NFL's Russell Westbrook with his outfits sometimes.
Russ has
Like
got
he wears outlandish stuff to be outlandish. I feel like sometimes. More power to him. I can't pull it off.
Oh yeah,
I
okay.
don't think you want to see me try either.
I found the picture of it. Let's see if I can share it with people watching. I can't even like describe it to you because it's just bizarre. Let's see. Share screen. Yes, I want to share a screen. All right, I'm going to try and figure this out. But yeah, I think we're going to see Debo in a cool, used in a cool way, and I think we're going to see him producing in a cool way, um, regardless of his pregame attire. Let's say. All right, let's see if I can do this. And okay, no, it's not letting me share the screen. I apologize. Well, anyway, it's really cool. We'll retweet it. It's a green fur coat looking thing with a black and white luchador mask with green around the eye holes, and he's got like green sweatpants on.
Just wearing green, playing the Eagles. That's odd.
It's going to be one of those things where he gets praised for it if they win and crushed for it
Yeah.
if they lose. All right. Mad Scientist watching on YouTube. We need to put points up early. And this is something that George Kittle talked about earlier in the week because they brought up, the fourth quarter against the Rams was pitiful by the offense. We all remember the fourth quarter against the Chiefs in the Super Bowl in 2019. That was pitiful. And they asked George, like, how do you prevent that? And his answer was win the game earlier than that. Don't let it come down to that. Do you think we're going to see the Niners come out early and just right down the field, touchdown, touchdown, touchdown?
I do think they're going to come out, and it's going to be one of two ways. I personally think they'll come out passing. I could see Kyle being scared of a bad turnover early and clamming up and doing run, pass, punt. But
Yep.
I do think they're going to go the other way and be aggressive, because if they can get the Eagles down, I think it makes their offense weaker because Miles Sanders comes off the field if they're forced to pass. He's not a great pass catcher. He only had 20 receptions on the season. And that means you're going to get Gainwell and Scott. And it makes them a little more one-dimensional. It takes away their ability to really threaten as a runner because neither one of them are great as just pure running. They're okay. They're not great. And I think it does make them a weaker team, a little less diverse if you can get up. Big if.
Yeah. Well, I hope that Kyle is not scared, by the way. This is J. Bob Bravosky. Kyle better realize he has to be aggressive today. We can't win if our kicker is our best scoring threat like last week. 100%, J. Bob. Absolutely. Kyle, now is not the time to pucker, okay? I mean, let's just get technical about things, right? You're going against the number one seed. You're the underdog. You're on the road. Don't be scared. Attack. Now is the time to attack. They once asked Warren Buffett.
Don't forget, though, this is the coach that won an NFC Championship game by run.
Right, but it was working like to an insane degree. I mean, look, I don't think any of us would complain if that happened again today, right? Like, who's going to be mad if Brock Purdy throws 8 passes if they're running for like 7 yards a clip? I'm fine with that. But if you're running for 3 yards a clip, you got to switch it up, man. I agree. Do not come out, run, pass in the first possession. I don't want to see it. No.
Yeah, I agree. I want to see some play action. I want to see some passes. I want to see lots of motion. I saw that Brock Purdy, since he's come in, he has led the league in the amount of pre-snap motion. It was like 73.3% of the snaps that he passes has had pre-snap motion, and he has an 80 QBR. That is the ESPN QBR. So off the charts, really good QBR 80 when he has pre-snap motion. And what that does, I think Purdy is good at recognizing defenses and what they're going to do pre-snap. It's something I don't think Jimmy was all that great at. Purdy is. So I think when he gets pre-snap motion, he has a pretty good idea of what's going to happen after the snap.
And he's got to continue to take care of the football. That's the other thing. Clearly, he's given us no reason to doubt that, though. Like I know he's had a couple of plays that could have been interceptions that were dropped. That happens to a lot of quarterbacks, but he usually doesn't make a bad play worse. And that's what we've seen in the playoffs, especially in the fourth quarter. Some bad plays have gone from bad to worse. So hopefully we don't do that. Where is the comment I just wanted to click? Biolateralist, again on Twitch, at Stats on Fire is my Twitch page. Bosa has to get some sacks. At least he has to get damn close. Sacks aren't always the best measure of how effective somebody is at disrupting the passing game. He technically hasn't had a sack, I think, in like 3 out of his last 4 games or 4 out of his last 5, something like that. But if he can get Hurts off the spot, and like you were saying earlier, Levin, force him outside the pocket, force him to hold on to the ball longer when in those situations he doesn't really thrive, that'll be enough. He doesn't always have to bring him down.
Yeah, and I think he would have to win his matchup extremely well to get his sack on Hurts, because Hurts is so quick and he's faster than Bosa. And that's the one thing that Bosa isn't elite at. He's not an elite chase down guy. He doesn't have that kind of speed. So I think Hurts is going to be able to get away from sacks that would be sacks against more of a pocket passer quite a bit with Bosa. So I'm not overly confident that he's going to definitely get a sack in this game just because of that.
I would agree with you. I mean, he's fast, but Jalen Hurts is faster. Let's just throw that out there. A couple other comments I want to get to. First of all, Alfonso says Rob's head is low-key built like a Subway sandwich. It is, but shut up.
Like what's that mean?
It's
one. I love it, Alfonso. Keep it coming, but like his ability to come up with like ways to describe things is like I don't know what that means.
It's oval. I agree. Like, look, this is what I got. What do you want me to do about it? Okay, I got a head like a Subway sandwich. Okay. How about this one? Bosa Zilla watching on YouTube. Do you think Kittle is going to have a big game? I certainly hope so, man.
I think
when he gets the ball, he jump starts the offense. I love it. I love the connection he's made with Brock. I keep bringing it up. 23% of his touchdown catches in his entire career have come with Brock Purdy at quarterback. Utilize your best weapon. And okay, maybe he's not the best weapon, but he's the best tight end in the league. Utilize him in this game.
Yeah, I posted a breakdown of like where the Eagles defense, what they've done, like short, long, left, right, middle, all of that on each down. Posted like a little screenshot from NFLsavant.com that breaks it all down. Where the Eagles are weak, they are really good against the left, whether it's short or long. But in the middle, they're very weak. And on the right, they have some weaknesses. They were good in some areas, not good in others. But the middle is the spot where they were weak short, they were weak long, they were weak on first, second, and third down. That's where you can attack them. And that's why I think Kittle needs to have a big game, because he's the one that can kill them over the middle.
He can kill anybody over the middle. That's the thing, man. Hit him up. And we know that the Eagles linebackers are a liability. That is where that defense is weakest. And we've seen Kyle punish teams with weak linebackers. He does it to the Rams every single time they play. Even when they did add Bobby Wagner, they still punish the Rams. Have to do it today. Absolutely have to. It doesn't make any sense to spend your time going after Darius Slay or going after James Bradbury on the outside for the Eagles. That's what they want you to do. They want you to challenge those guys. Go over the middle. And we know generally Kyle likes to live there, so they should do that today.
And you know what's crazy? And I kind of included this on the Yak video that I posted, the stat that I think matters more than any. George Kittle does not have the most yak of tight ends in this game. Like, that shocked me when I saw that. Dallas Goedert had more yak than he did. And it wasn't that Kittle was bad at it. Kittle, I believe, was top 20 in the NFL in average yak per reception amongst wide receivers and tight ends. You know, so he beat a lot of wide receivers in that statistic. Just Goddard had a really good year in that regard. So that's something to watch. You know, obviously we haven't played the Eagles when they look like they look now. Played them last year, not the same team. So it'll be interesting to see if they do something that gets Goddard in space, and that's why he's able to get that, because I honestly have not seen or heard anything about Goddard being so great after the catch. So it really shocked me when I saw it.
Well, a lot of Eagles fans have been saying Goddard's just as good as George Kittle, which I don't believe, but
maybe as a receiver.
We'll see.
I can kind of give it to you if you want to say that as a receiver only, maybe.
Yeah, we'll see. Bruno Barreto, cheers from Brazil, Robin Levin. How do you see Purdy and the offensive line handling the Eagles' defensive line? First of all, hello from Brazil. That's awesome. Thank you very much. Love being international here. That's going to be a challenge because the Eagles have 4 guys with 10-plus sacks. So how Purdy and the offensive line does is going to be a challenge. I think that a lot's going to depend on the running game. If they can get some semblance of running game going, and if they can keep the score close and stay out of must-pass situations, they'll be fine. The real problem is going to be 3rd and 8. And then it's like, oh, crap. What? Here they come. They know we're going to pass. It's probably not going to be a play action. It's probably going to be a straight drop back situation. That's when you have to worry. And I'm sure Kyle has been stressing all week. That's the situation we cannot live in.
I do think that they're going to move Purdy a decent bit when it's like an obvious 3rd and long like that. We saw that some against the Cowboys. And if I'm Kyle, I'm moving him to whatever side Hassan Reddick is not on, because his speed when you're moving out of the pocket, I think, is a difference maker. And I'll be interested to see how he does, because the Niners did go up against Hassan Reddick 2 years ago when he
Mhm.
was with the Cardinals, and he had no sacks in the first game and a sack and a half in the second game that year. So it's kind of like, I was hoping to find something out. Oh, did he do really well or really bad against this offensive line? And it was a mixture of both. So I don't know how well he does against these specific offensive linemen, because that is a big factor that people don't really talk about. Some guys are just really good against certain people, and vice versa, whether it's offense or defense.
Alexander Sutherland, please tell Purdy to roll to his right, not left, please. I just like him to switch it up every once in a while, because defenses, like, they notice tendencies like that,
Right.
and they will force you to go to one side if they know you don't like to go there.
That's definitely true, and that's something that Purdy's going to have an adjustment come off season. The defenses will look and adjust for that, and next season, if he's doing that same thing, assuming he's starting, we don't need to get into all that, but assuming he's starting next season, defenses will try to take away what he likes to do most, and we've seen quarterbacks have really good first years, and then defenses
Mhm.
adjust and they don't have an answer. Like Nick Foles is a great example of that. Nick Foles had a 15 touchdown, 1 interception season. I think it was I think it was 22 touchdowns, 1 interception season with the Eagles.
Something
And
like
he was
that, yeah.
traded a year later because he wasn't doing well, and almost retired because he hated it with the Rams so much.
Alex Simpson, hey, from the UK, we need to run the ball 40 times and control the clock. Our D will look after itself. I get the desire to run the ball, right? But if it's working, fine. That's cool. I agree. But if it's not working, like, you can't be scared to throw the ball. I think the 49ers were frightened to throw the ball against the Packers in 2019. Thank God they didn't have to. I hope that Kyle is not scared. I know the crowd's going to be going crazy and whatever. Forget that. Come out early and punch him in the mouth. Use Brock. Let him throw early and let him throw deeper down the field. Like, you can't be scared to use half of your game plan.
Right. If the defense is going to look after itself, then it doesn't matter what you do in offense. You don't need to run and control the clock if the defense is capable of looking after themselves. You just run what the best offense is. It will be interesting to see, because I think the Eagles are a good enough defense. They got talent all over that they could choose to do either one. They could come out and stack the box and say, we're going to make a rookie beat us.
Yep.
Or they could sit back and say, go ahead and try to run on us, and we're going to keep you in front of us and stop the big play from happening. They're good enough to do either one, just like the 49ers are. So this is a game that it's really hard to predict what's going to happen, because both sides of the ball for both teams are good enough to pretty much change their entire game plan and focus on a different thing.
It is. I mean, this is such an even game. Dean says Purdy needs to step up in the pocket rather than rolling out. I do think it's possible we might see Purdy pick up more yards scrambling than normal. He usually only runs for like less than 10 yards a game. But if the Eagles are getting that penetration with their defensive line, that's what Brock does need to do. Dean's 100% right. You are not going to get around the edge. You're not fast enough, Brock. Step up, go north and south. And Purdy has talked about that's been the coaching point from Brian Griese. When you got to move, go north and south, not east and west. And that potentially could help keep the 49ers out of 3rd and long. 2nd and 10, you drop back to pass. Even a 4-yard gain, 3rd and 6 is a lot different than 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9.
It all depends on what he thinks is going to happen, right? If he doesn't think there's a passing option and he's truly just going to try to run, then yeah, he needs to go up the middle. The problem is, quarterback his size, if he steps up in the pocket to then try to make a pass, it's going to get batted down. He's not a Tom Brady or Peyton Manning that he's so tall that he's still able to get over the defensive lineman when he's stepping up into a small pocket. So it just depends. If he's bailing on the ability to pass, then step up by all means and go get your yards. But if he's still looking to make a pass because he thinks something's about to come open, if he can just buy a little bit more time, he needs to do what he needs to do, because if he steps up, he's not going to get the pass off.
So there you have it. That's our preview show for the NFC Championship game. Thank you to everybody watching. Remember, we are going to be live after the game on this page, youtube.com/@statsonfire, on my Twitch page @statsonfire, Facebook on Stats on Fire, everywhere. Just search for Stats on Fire. You will find us. We will be live after the game. Thanks everybody for joining us. And again, if you missed the update at the beginning, do not unsubscribe from the NinersNation.com podcast feed. We're working things out with SB Nation. The audio is going to appear on both feeds. So if you haven't found our new show, the Gold Standard Podcast Network, on iTunes and Google Pods now as of today, Amazon and Spotify and all that, stick with the Niners Nation podcast feed. The audio will be there as well. So just want to let everybody know that. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the NFC Championship game. We will be back after the game, Levin, hopefully celebrating.
Hopefully with a Di Serono in my hand.
Let's go.